Hey everybody, Reverend Morbid here with Cleveland Monster Club podcast, and we are here with also our cohort
Mopar Monster.
Yes, and in this episode we have Darren Gierowski.
Darren Gierowski.
The makeup director for Bloodview Haunted House. And so this will be really cool because you guys just had
The Haunt Club.
Yeah, you just had some event going on with, you had an open house, right?
Yeah, we had an open house. We had the Haunt Club there. A lot of our old members that haven't been around for a while, Roger Miller and Ed McKenna. And I know you've met Roger before, haven't you?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they started it. So it was nice for them to talk to everyone, kind of getting to experience what Bloodview's about and how we started.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I remember, years ago I filled in just a spur of the moment thing, and that was really fun. Your team, the team was really helpful.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Like, I'm just a volunteer. Tell me what I need to do.
Exactly.
And everybody just jumped right in.
And it's all volunteer too. So like, it's not like I love it because it's not like a paid gig. So it's not like, oh, I got to go to work today. I'm going to the haunted house and I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's going to be crazy with my friends. And we're going to scare a whole bunch of people. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you been with Bloodview?
I've been there since 2003.
2003?
Yeah, about 20 plus years.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. In 2010, I ran the makeup department, and then I went on like a 4 or 5 year hiatus, and then ran it ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I see you got some little sculpture here to show off today. What do you have here?
So, this is funny. So, because we're a nonprofit,
Is that in camera?
Yeah, hang on.
We
might have to hold it in front of you.
Yeah. So, we're
You can bring that in front of you if you want.
Yeah. So, we're nonprofit, and
There we go.
everything we do is literally donated to us or scraps. Like, so I wanted to make a snake lady. Actually, I didn't. Every time I go into making something, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, it works or doesn't work. But we got a whole bunch of these mannequin torsos. And I'm like, oh, I want to do something because I had this snake lady and I molded her teeth out of resin, made acrylic eyes and all that. And this head's actually just from a silicone mold and great stuff.
Okay.
Great stuff. This is it's corrugated tubing. Everything we have on here, or all the props and all the walls, all the paint, all donations.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And you guys don't use masks, right? Because I know
We don't use masks. We're strictly prosthetics, foam latex, gelatin. If you have if you want to spend like the $600, get a silicone mask. That's all you.
Yeah.
But I've seen people wear them, and I put one on. Them things are pretty hard for a good 4 hours of acting because there's no breathing in them.
And you're also sweating a lot.
Oh, you sweat so much. Yeah. I redo makeup every hour because it's not meant to stay on your face for that long.
Even though if you're wearing one of those silicone masks, it's like your face is so restricted, you're breathing and all that moisture coming out of your nose and your mouth is just sticking inside that mask, and then afterwards you gotta clean that thing because otherwise it'll get moldy. It'll get nasty.
My gosh. I've seen some haunts where they have like arm pieces and everything, and a mask, a cowl, from here up, that probably weighs a good 20, 30 pounds too. Yeah, but like I said, we like to stick to latex prosthetics, like just mask latex, what you get at the Halloween store. Mm-hmm. We make our own. We make everything in house. I make soft gelatin that doesn't get hard for people that are allergic to latex. With any allergies, we do foam latex, silicone prosthetics. So we do everything every other haunted house does, but we just gotta budget out our money a little better.
Gotcha. Now you guys just had an open house recently. Mm-hmm. So what was that about, and what did you guys do?
So the director of acting, Albert Hare, he's the one that put it on. So the open house was. The Haunt Club, they'll do meetings at a haunted house. I believe it's once a month.
Once a month they do a monthly meeting, and because I'm part of them on Facebook.
Yeah.
So they do a monthly meeting once a month, and during the summer months when it starts getting nice out, or the spring, they like to go out and do things. versus being at a VFW hall, because normally they have it at a VFW.
I saw
hall.
that.
Yeah, so they'll do events at the Avon VFW hall where they're building props or they're making masks, or they had one where they were doing animatronics, and that's all indoor stuff in the wintertime when the weather's cool outside.
And I love that. That's great, actually.
And then as the weather starts to break, well, last week it was kind of chilly last weekend, but as the weather starts to break, they like to get out and do things at other places. Like they're doing one at a drive-in theater coming up in May.
Yeah.
So the May one's at a drive-in theater. They're going to do like 3 or 4 movies at a drive-in theater where everybody can drive in. They're all old horror movies.
That's so
stuff
cool.
like that. And it's just to get the group together and do things. You know, as a group.
Yeah, like yesterday we at Bloodview we have like. So it's the Legion of Terror is our acting troupe in there. Mm-hmm. But we do Legion Night Outs. So we'll get everyone and we'll go bowling once a month. Or we'll do
I remember one of those events.
Yeah.
That was over 20 years ago.
Oh, jeez, really?
I DJ'd one. It was pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how I got
I wonder, was it a banquet?
It was at a bowling alley, and they had the hall.
Yorktown Lanes, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, my buddy Jeremy owns it.
I was, it was that was like one of my weirdest DJ gigs, but it was a lot of fun.
Everyone's dressed up like the Cure.
Yeah.
Flock of seagulls.
Yeah, you're like, what's going on here?
I got to the point where everyone was like, I'm not going to dance anymore, I'm just going to go bowling, and so it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was actually very excited that everyone came out, because I got to see people that I only talked to on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
And there was one, I think his name was Roger. He showed up. He was working at Nightmare in Cleveland. He came out. So yeah, he played the doctor, the mad scientist.
He did. He was our makeup artist too.
Right. So I saw him and I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. He made it out here, you know. And
did you know that he was?
I didn't know he was going to be there, but I had met him at Nightmare Cleveland last year.
Yeah. Like I was telling Eric in the car. So Roger Miller and his ex-wife Tawny, there's a library on Snow Road in Parma, Snow Road Library, and my grandmother lived right behind it. So we cut through the woods, and they would always have like little events, like Harry Potter, dress up, and all that. And it's 2000 probably. And I went there, and they had face painting Halloween. I was always in the horror makeup. Like I'd buy the little sticks that like the wrapped in cardboard.
The grease pencils.
The grease pencils and all that. Yeah, they just mush. And I loved it. And I went there and they taught me there's more to it than like dollar store makeup. And then in 2001, I got some Wuchi appliances. It was glass pieces. And I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. And my grandma's like, you're pretty good at this. So I dressed up like a businessman with a briefcase. First mistake during 2001. Don't dress up like a businessman after what happened. Mm-hmm. And but I got a lot of compliments, and I started like kind of exploring haunted houses and makeup. So I didn't have YouTube or anything, so I would go back to the library and get old Dick Smith books out. And any makeup book or movie production book I could find, photocopy everything, and just try it out. And then I found out there was a place called Magic Within, which was at Parma Theater, right beside Parma Theater before it got burnt down. Mm-hmm. And that was like a theatrical shop. So I started buying makeup from there, and I liked haunted houses, but I was extremely scared, terrified of haunted houses. So I went to Bloodview in 2002, and I ran straight to my car. I said, Dad, I can't do this. Ran straight to my car. I had my friend Glenn at the time. I'm very good friends with him now. He was like a old hag witch with like them like chomping teeth. Mm-hmm. And I just said, I'm out of here, Dad. It was my birthday too. And then in 2003, I came up and I saw my friend Dan and Al in this part. It was called Cellar at the time. And I stopped the whole line and I went, what are you guys doing here? Because we were in art classes together at Hillside. I'm like, I want to do this. He goes, and we just start chatting, which is like the number one rule in haunted houses, don't break character.
Right.
We broke character for 10 minutes, held up everything. And then I walked around to the garage, and I met this guy. We have code names, kind of. Like, they don't want you calling out Darren in the middle of the lot in front of customers, so I'm Salem. Or my friend at the time. Actually, I found out it was my cousin, which is a weird story.
Mm-hmm.
But Jim, he gave me an application, and the rest is really history. Yeah.
Nice.
But it's weird how things work. And then I just saw Roger at the Haunt Club, and I told him the story, and I'm like, I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't sit there during that seminar with you and your wife and learn about makeup. I always think that, like, because I stopped playing football in high school just to go. I loved the haunted house so much because it was people like me. It was almost like my own community, and everyone accepted me. And that's
Speaking of that, I mean, we have a great community with all the groups. You know, working with you guys. We work with Hudson.
Yeah.
We work with Cleveland Haunt Club, and now Riverside Cemetery. And it just seems like there's a really good community dedicated to Halloween and the spooky stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and everyone's super like supportive and accepting too.
Yeah.
Like I just did the Organ Grinders Ball, and it was something a little new to me.
I'm familiar with some of those. We'll discuss that in another podcast.
My other job is painting at a swingers club too, so I got a lot of them. But they thought it would be shock and awe for me, but I've seen everything on set, like doing production films and everything else. And my friend Faith that came with me to help me out airbrushing, she was kind of nervous, and I'm like, you're gonna be fine. And everyone there is so accepting too. Like it's just amazing how much the world kind of turned. Like, because for a while, haunted house, it was all demonized and everything was kind of like obscure.
It goes by whatever the most popular movie is of the time.
It really does.
So, it goes by horror movies, whether they're getting into slashers, the Freddy Krueger and the Michael Myers, or you start getting into like trolls and, vampires and things like that. And everything kind of rolls around and mishmashes, and the haunts kind of follow it.
It is, yeah.
And it really does. And then now we're going to probably start seeing
Fallout,
exactly. Yeah. Fallout, where there's an apocalyptic thing. And Nightmare Cleveland's kind of already done it.
They did, it's with the spores and everything.
Yeah, so they're when you first go in there, it's a lab environment.
I want to go there so bad.
It is. It's really cool. They've done a great job. It must be nice to have a lot of money. But they spent a lot of money on that
Dempsey,
place. Yeah.
He did all that.
Well, that, and he's also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Chippewa Lake is part owners.
It's
of that particular thing.
Chippewa, my buddy Joe was there for a while. Joe Gall. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was doing that.
But yeah, they've got that whole apocalyptic.
Their scenes and all that are. I've seen photos. They're amazing.
They're great. And I tried to get in there, and at first he said, "Yeah, come on down. Bring your cameras and your group and everything." Yeah. And then all of a sudden, once I got there, he's like, "Well, I kind of talked to the guy, my partner, and." He said no because this is Hollywood stuff, and
they get very hush hush, and it's not a hush hush thing.
And I'm like, all right, well, I said, I figured it didn't hurt to ask. I said, I'm here in the parking lot anyways. I'm like, but I'll get pictures with some of the actors that come on the outside and stuff like that, and that's where I met Roger and everything like that.
Oh, nice, yeah,
because he came up to the hearse and he's like, oh, that's a cool hearse. Oh yeah, let's stay in character, man. Let me get some pictures, and we got some pictures with him and everything. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I only got to travel so I did the Valentine's Day at the Haunted Schoolhouse.
I was there not last year. This year I was there last year for that.
Yeah, I went this year, and that was cool. And then what else did I do? Oh, I went to Hysterium in Illinois, and that because my buddy Sky, his brother works over there, and he runs the acting department. Cool. And it's totally different to see an out-of-state haunt, like especially it's in the middle, Fort Wayne, or it's Indiana. I'm sorry, Fort Wayne. It's just in the middle of like cow country, but it's amazing how many people. I don't see any advertising or anything, and they're just filled. It's just.
Like Facebook, word of mouth.
I don't know.
They just know just know it's going to happen.
Because we pump out so much in advertising.
Well, yeah, you guys got billboards up and
billboards.
Everything.
We had buses. And actually, I don't know how my friend figured this out, but in the movie Bad Grandpa, is that the one with Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah.
If you look, the first one, it's when Billy, the kid, was drinking at the bench, like drinking liquor, and Grandpa's giving it to him. A Bloodview bus goes by. I went, how that? There's a big orange sign on the Bloodview bus. You remember that?
Yeah,
that was cool.
And I was like, how do you pick that out? Yeah. No.
So what kind of events you guys got coming up now?
Holy moly! So, I probably can't even remember them all. So we have Concoction Con over 18. So, or it's Oddball over 18. So it's kind of rated R, I guess. I'm not really familiar with that, but we just did Concoction Con. That was in Aurora. That was fun. It was more sci-fi and all that, but I did a makeup demo there. It was for their, I believe, 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. So I did a huge orc on my buddy Jeff, which is nice because he's like 6'6" or something. And then I'll probably be at the zombie walk later today. Maybe.
Who's putting that on?
Ron?
That is actually being put on by Fred Cleveland. Fred Cleveland is doing that event.
Fred Cleveland.
Is that the 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Fred Cleveland at 5 o'clock. They're starting it at noon. It's already going on right now because it's after 1 o'clock. And then they're going to do makeup. It's $5 to get in on the event and 2 cans of food per person because they're doing it for a food drive. And if you want your makeup professionally done, they have makeup artists there. It's an extra $10.
Yeah.
But yeah, you walk a mile around like 4 blocks.
Oh yeah, I've done it so
4
many
square
times.
blocks around
Yeah.
Lakewood, and you come back and probably have a few drinks tonight. It is kid friendly, but yeah, you can have a few drinks at the 5 o'clock.
No, yeah, it's
before you
actually
start and
it's a
after you
fun
drink.
time, and we go there because recruitment. We've got so many members from there. It's just like families that are like, we love this type of stuff, and they don't know that, like, we're out there. Like, you can actually do this all year if you want.
Oh yeah, I mean it's Ohio, man. We're the spookiest.
It's the haunted house Halloween hotspot, Ohio.
Oh
It
yeah.
is. We have more haunted houses per capita across the United States. If you look at it, we have the most haunted houses.
And I love it. I love
It's
Plus,
it.
if you
awesome.
flip the state around, it looks like a tombstone. So.
Ah.
That's
Mind blown.
We're missing out on some serious marketing.
You know, there's a guy holding a frying pan. That's awesome. Yeah, like, that's our big thing. It's recruiting with going out to these conventions and all that, because we don't, especially being nonprofit, we don't have the money for all the marketing we want.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to show you too. It's not just a 3-hour job you get paid $15 an hour for, and then you leave. Like, you come up here a lot. Like, we had 3, Dave Greyhouse, Becky Ingram, my buddy Greg Leitner. All these people went off to go to Hollywood, do movies, Face Off, on Sci-Fi. I went off and done movies. So Bloodview is kind of cool where you can go to a college like AIP, do industrial design, spend tons of money, which is not bad. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. It's great to get like a degree, but we teach all that at Bloodview. So that's the cool thing. So if you want to learn how to make this, we will show you how to make that. If you want to learn how to do foam latex or silicone prosthetics, we have people that can show you how to do that. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like an educational experience too. Even if you don't want to join, we're still there to help you. If you're a home haunter or anything else, like if you want to learn how to make just fake arms or make heads or something for your house, we teach you how to do that. Great stuff or something. Mm-hmm. Something cheap that you don't need to be an expert to do, and you can do it at pennies on the dollar. Yeah.
Awesome. And how, like, something like this, you know, it takes you, what, like 5-6 hours, longer, depends on what you're using?
Yeah, from start to finish, this took about 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah, to paint it all up. I mean, the head's the thing that I had this on hand. So it's just a blank head. And
Nice.
and then I split the mouth, I put resin on the teeth, This is just one of them I had laying around upstairs because I sold the eyeball out of it.
Yeah, and then you still got the other eye, which looks all kind of bloody and dead. And
I got the teeth. Then I just clear coat the crap out of it. I got black. I wanted something weird because I want a snake lady. She's actually in a bucket. She's 8 feet tall. So
you do any animatronics type stuff?
Oh, I do a lot of pneumatics and all that. So I'm trying to get familiar with it, but. Like I said, there's no one there to really teach me that, so I'm learning from outside sources. So I've got like the sensors down, the relays, and everything else just for up and down.
Yeah, it was funny we were talking about that kind of stuff on the way here.
Yeah.
And I was telling him some of the stuff I've done in my hunt, and he's like, "That's a great idea. I would have never thought of that."
Exactly. It was amazing.
And that's how we. I mean, that's what I like about even Cleveland Haunt Club is. You get a group of people together and you start asking questions or you see what other people are doing and it's like, that's a cool idea, I got to try that, but I think I can one-up it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a great idea, but I got something that'll make it better.
Yeah.
And then once you do it and everybody sees, how'd you do that? And it's like, oh, this is what I did. Like last year I did a whole tutorial on how I made tombstones out of pink foam. You know, the Pink Panther 2-inch foam. And you get like 9 tombstones out of one sheet, and I made like 18 of them from my yard. I got 2 sheets.
Really?
And it made a mess of my garage, but it was well worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, for $40 a sheet, I made 9 tombstones.
The insulation foam.
Yeah, and if you go to the store to buy it, they want $20 a piece for them.
And it's made out of the same thing?
It's made out of the same stinking stuff.
Do you hard coat it?
I just painted it with UGL. Dry lock.
Oh, dry lock. Yeah.
Yeah, the cement wall stuff because it'll stick to it. Because that stuff, it's I forgot the base. It's acetone based, so it eats into the styrofoam instead of if it's just a regular latex, it'll just peel right.
So
off.
I found out all Taco Bells are made with that. Oh, you know the purple
the brick. Yeah,
it's all the pink or purple foam.
Yeah,
carved out, and there's a dude that just dry locks it. Yeah. I just learned about dry locking foam because I didn't. So we make this stuff called plaque, which is like so it's sawdust, wood glue, and latex paint. So you mix that all together and you get this like paste, almost like what's that called, Adobe or whatever you put on. But you put it everywhere and it turns rock hard, but it feels like concrete. And we'd use that to seal stuff outside.
And it gives it a texture.
Yeah, it's almost like a popcorn ceiling. You remember that? When you whack your head on? It's almost like that because you'll scrape yourself. But we use that for dry, like to seal everything in the foam.
And it's fairly waterproof?
Oh, it's waterproof. But it's super thick, unlike dry lock, because I know you can roll that on.
You can roll it on.
Yeah. Because we'll buy stuff. We have is this Distortions Unlimited that they make the giant animatronics?
I'm not sure.
There's a company that makes...
There's a few of them out there. A lot of them do them for Spirit Halloween and everything like that. I don't
know.
Yeah.
Like, we have the gates that you walk through in the back. They're giant, like, cast iron gates that open up. And I wish we would have, like, sealed the outs... Or, like, it was laser cut wood, and it was all intricate, and the weather just destroyed it. I wish we would have tarped it. We got that probably 16 years ago, paid... maybe $14,000 and then $7,000 for the cement pads, and it still works, don't get me wrong, but all the nice detail up top, the weather just ate it. So I wish we would have dry locked it or something, but
live and learn.
Yeah, exactly that. It's everyone goes, how do you do that, how do you do this? I'm like, I mess up 20 times before I get it right. Like,
sometimes you mess up and it's like, oh, that looks pretty good like that.
Oh, happy mistakes. I love that. Like, I'll look back at it the next day and I'll go, I'm happy I spilled that there.
It looks so much better. It looks just perfect. Yep. So I got a question for you, and I know they went over this when I was there last week. So there's different levels of the Legion of Terror.
Yeah.
There's knights. Where are you on that?
Okay, so there's there's a knight, there's a elder knight, a grand knight, and then there's a cardinal knight. So they're gonna hate me for this because I don't remember all the things. But
sorry for putting you
demotion's coming up soon.
Don't kick me out.
You are now a squire.
You are not squire. It was just a flesh wound.
Go fetch the trash now.
It's just a scratch.
Yeah. Well, it's different hierarchies. So it's just how long you've been there, how many years of good standing. So good standings throughout the season if you haven't missed a day. Mm-hmm. And like the Cardinal Knight is 20 plus years good standing as a knight in the Legion of Terror. So you have not missed a day throughout season for 20 years, and you get that position. And then it's just like during our banquets, you get to sit at like, we have like a thing called the Lord. So Lord of Makeup, Lord of Sets and Props, Lord of Communications, Lord of Records and Finance. It's like CFO, CEO, that type of stuff. But it's more of a, it's just, it's more to show like this person put this much time into the haunt and he's the most knowledgeable, or she is. But yeah, I usually, when I go out, especially like nowadays, I just say I'm the manager of Bloodview Haunted House for the makeup department. Because I don't go, I'm the Lord of Makeup. Because you kind of go, what are you?
Yeah, I wouldn't go throwing that title on.
Yeah, this is my squire. So a squire is someone, it's like your apprentice. Mm-hmm. It's just different terms. So like, I have a friend named Faith. I just call her my partner in crime, but she's kind of like my apprentice, and she helps me out with everything I do. And yeah, so it's we have different magus or different makeup levels too. That's what I mostly deal with. So it's magus, high magus, grand magus. So if you want to learn makeup, we have the 3 different levels. So magus is you have to get sign-offs and take photos, and we sit there. We have seminars with you, so you learn grease paints, powders, like basics.
Airbrush, stuff like that.
Airbrush, yeah. So very fine detail, stuff you can put on fast. And you know the best people to teach you are like Roger Miller, my friend Ed Cashman, the people that have been around the industry for 40 years. They use these powders called Stein's Makeup, if you remember that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the next level is high magus. So it's latex prosthetics, Knox gelatin buildup. Let's see. You could use. We do airbrushing in that, and then there's grand magus, which is you sculpt a full face. You cast someone's head, either out of silicone or alginate, and then you sculpt on that. You make your prosthetic on their head cast. We make a negative of that, fill it with foam latex, silicone, and gelatin. Pull that, and then you apply it on that person, and then that's how you receive that title. So we literally, like I said, we'll teach you everything you need to know.
If all you want different levels. And you're all the way at the top, right? Or...
Yeah. I've been at the top for a while. Yeah. No one at the time when I started, so no one was really getting into it. It wasn't like... So we're not allowed to do foam latex at the haunted house anymore because you got to bake it in an oven. Mm-hmm. Fire marshal doesn't like that, and I understand that because it's ovens in his eyes are made for food. We didn't use it for food. We use it for chemical baking, but
right, and that stuff is pretty flammable.
Yeah, it's more. It's so it's got a lot of sulfur in it,
right,
and it smells like rotten eggs, and it coats the whole inside of your oven with like sulfur buildup.
Yeah,
yeah. So you don't want to cook in it, and I feel so bad for my parents when I was a teenager. I'm not saying I must
smell.
Yeah, they're
what is this in here?
It smells like Gary, Indiana in here. Yeah. Rotten eggs, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of off track, but that's the hierarchy of all that.
I can't wait for the Hearst Cruise in, and that's in August, and it's like
it's so far.
Oh, it's so.
And then I've got another one that I'm doing up in Michigan. I'm going to be a part of the Guinness Book of World Records largest hearse parade.
That is amazing. That's sweet.
So I'm taking both of my hearses up there.
Oh, really?
In September.
Now, is it, where do you start at?
It's going to be up in Flowerville. I don't know where they're physically starting the parade, but they're going to start it at one point, and it's going to end at the fairgrounds where they're going to have all the hearses lined up and everything, like a car show.
Did you see, so I just saw this girl, and she has her hearse. I don't go on any of this, but I saw a short story about it. So she's in the top 4% of OnlyFans, and it's just her hearse.
So that's Lily the Lincoln.
Oh, you know her? Okay, I was.
That's the name of the hearse.
I was hoping you would know this because I thought this is so cool.
Well, because she is a very attractive young lady. She's kind of got the whole goth thing going on. She's got the bangs that are kind of.
She's got the widow speaking.
Right, exactly. And she drives a hearse. She's actually a welder by trade, and she does sets for like theater and things like that. Yeah. And her TikTok, everybody wants her OnlyFans address. She tells them, "I'll give you the OnlyFans address of my hearse, Lily the Lincoln," and they're like, "Okay." And
it's literally just
literally Lily the Lincoln. She has got an OnlyFans page for her car.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say they're precarious situations, but it's the way she titles them that makes it.
It makes someone go, "I want to click on this photo." Yeah.
Right, and then they're upset when they find out it's a hearse.
I think it's amazing. I do. I just saw it yesterday, and she goes, "Can you believe I'm in 4.9%, the top tier out of millions of people, and I just show photos of my hearse."
Right.
Yeah,
it's awesome. She's awesome.
I wonder if she's gonna be at that parade. That's super cool.
I think she's down in Atlanta or Georgia area. I don't know. She'll come up to Michigan for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's where she's from. She's from down in Georgia.
Yeah, I know a few people down there. Yeah.
So that's going to be a haul. She actually last year she just had the vinyl roof redone on that.
Really? It looks beautiful.
They screwed it up in the beginning. They had ordered the wrong top.
Oh, really?
So there's different hearse manufacturers.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's hearse is different. Mm-hmm. Whether it's an S&S, a Superior, an Eagle, whichever brand you purchase, they've got their own design.
Yeah.
Because they got their own molds. It's all fiberglass.
Oh, yeah. It's fiberglass shells that pop out.
Right. Yeah, it's literally a fiberglass shell that gets bolted to the chassis,
and
then they've got steel subframes that go underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently they ordered one for a different manufacturer, and it was too short.
Oh.
So they had a stitch going right down the center on the side of the quarter panel, and she's like, "That's not going to do. You guys are going to have to redo that." And they're like, "Well, it's $1,700 for the kit." She goes, "Not my fault."
Exactly.
Not my fault.
Yeah.
You ordered the wrong one. I told you what I had. You ordered the wrong one, and you applied it. Yeah. That's your fault.
Exactly.
So they actually made good on it, and
good for them.
The thing looks phenomenal because she used to have duct tape holding the whole top together and everything like that. But yeah, they did a nice job, and it's not cheap getting the vinyl top redone.
No.
So.
Yeah, is it leather on top?
Vinyl.
If that's vinyl,
It's
just
a vinyl
vinyl.
top. Yeah, it's a vinyl top.
Wow.
It's all stitched and tucked and.
Yeah, we were talking about redoing the hearse at our haunt, and it's just
that thing's beyond.
It's beyond.
Well,
it needs a hearse.
We had talked about it. We had talked about it last year, and I'm like, man, that thing ain't even good for parts. I'm like, there's just nothing.
It's got like a generic Canon filter on the the engines.
I'm like, if it hasn't moved in 7 or 8 years, it's not.
Longer than that, yeah. But you know what? I put an animatronic in the back. It pops.
Yeah,
it pops up here and there. Actually, the Lions Club. There's a guy, John.
Yeah, the guy who does the parking lot stuff. Yeah,
John Iacovone. Yeah. He helps me with that because he's an electrical engineer. Because I'm just dabbling, like I said, getting into animatronics and solenoids and pneumatics.
Yeah, he's got that thing set on a timer, I believe, because I was talking to him about it last year.
Yeah, well, we got worried at first because it has acrylic eyes like this, and it's on this arm that hits right up to the back glass of the hearse. And I'm like, I think that's going to shatter the window. And he goes, "We'll see." And I said, "This is why we're nonprofit." No, yeah, but it actually worked out.
It is really cool because the whole inside of you got a fog machine on the inside of that thing that fills the whole thing up with fog, and I watch all night.
You're right there.
I'm right there. I'm watching all these kids walking by, and they're walking past the back of the hearse, and they walk by just at that time, and the thing just slaps against the back window, and it freaks them the hell out. It's awesome. I'm like, works every time as long as there's somebody there.
Exactly. See, there's no timing to it.
Right. Yeah, because it's on a timer. Where the headlights and everything, that's on a something where somebody walks by and it sets it off.
Yeah.
But the back one, the one in the back, is on a timer, so it's got to hit just right, and every now and then, just right. Nails. Yeah, I'd sit there and laugh all night.
I'm redoing that. I took everything out of there, and like you said, the rails for the casket. Because they first mounted it to the wood inside.
The plywood deck.
Yeah, but the pneumatic hit so hard that it started ripping it out.
The screws out.
So I had to go under, and then I took silicone caulk, and we drilled out holes and just bolted it straight to the frame.
Yeah.
Because I know this thing's not going anywhere.
Yeah, there's a significant steel substructure underneath that piece of plywood.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I cut sections of mine out to put seats in.
I saw that, yeah.
And they actually, before they laminate the plywood, that's when they bolt it to the subframe, which makes it impossible to take that deck out because unless you rip up all the laminate.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to take all the fixtures out of it, all the bear pins, the rollers, everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Rip all the laminate out, and then you can get to the bolts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is such bullshit. Why the heck did they do that? Why didn't they just zip it from underneath with short screws, that don't come all the way through?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so many different ways they could have built this car, and I'm like, what a bunch of dicks.
They probably weren't planning on
they weren't
hearse rides.
They weren't planning on people like us taking over these hearses after the funeral homes are done with them and doing what we're doing with them now. But
that's effective recycling, let me tell you.
Oh.
It's like, let's use them for a better purpose. Let's use them as an Uber.
Like pallets, I can't tell you. We have sets just built out of pallets. We recycled pallets. I remember one year, probably in the early 2000s, we had this one person that was Lord of Construction. He wanted us to take all the screws out and nails out of the pallets.
Those things suck because they're
spiral. Oh yeah, they do.
They're spiral shank, man. They don't.
And they're glued in usually.
Yeah,
they have glue.
Well, they got because they're done with a pneumatic nailer.
Yeah.
So there's an adhesive on them, and they're spiral. So once they pound those things in with an air nailer, they don't come out.
Yeah, they're not meant to come out. Yeah, and we had to do that for a while. That was rough.
Was it like a baptism of fire for Bloodview? Take all those out of there.
Right?
Yeah. Take them out. By the end of the day.
Use the left-handed hammer.
I love that.
Don't forget to go get a bucket of steam for me.
The blinker fluid.
The blinker fluid and a bucket of steam, and you got to use the right size muffler bearing.
You can tell people. I do that sometimes. So, we have a PA system going through the haunt, and people will go there and take their family for tours, or I'll have someone in the haunt because I'll work there till 4 a.m. because I'll be after work and I'll say it's a Friday or something. I got nothing else to do. I got to get all this stuff done. We're having a meeting, and if I have someone there that just wants to come up and hang out, keep me company, I'll go on the PA and go, hey, and it goes through all the speakers inside and out, and I'll have someone run up the stairs and be like, did you hear that? Because I'll tell you the truth, I think Bloodview's haunted, kind of. It's spooky. So we have a lot of stuff from the old developmental center from Bloodview Heights there. And, we were the only... So we've been on that property for about 40 years, and there is nothing else. It was just woods. When I started, it was a gravel path that went straight on Towpath Road. There was no... And then the turnpike was at the end, but there was no buildings around. And... we just had Bloodview, and I don't know if I'm very skeptical. I like to disprove stuff, but I want it to be real because that kind of excites me. But I'll hear stuff there. I'll be there at night, and last year in the middle of winter, we were redoing this room called Hell House. So I was redoing the whole facade. And it was 3 a.m. There was a snowstorm outside. I knew I was going to be there all night. I cleared off. We had this little cement pad next to the garage. I cleared it off, parked my car there. And then I'm upstairs, and it sounds like someone throws a ladder at a wall. A giant, 8-foot aluminum ladder. And there was one in that room. So I called up my buddy Steve, and I said, I think there's someone actually in this haunted house. Because we have the truck stop right there. Mm-hmm. And I've had people walk down from there, just stretching their legs, walk straight into the building before. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So he just said, stay on the phone. I wasn't at work. Everything was locked upstairs. And it just made no sense why I heard that noise in that room. Mm-hmm. But I've had times where I'll be in the garage downstairs and it sounds like someone runs down the makeup room stairs and no one's there. Like, we have a building right next door. I literally helped build. It's called Gore House. And it's been up for about 15 years. And 2 years ago, I swear I played hide and go seek in that building at 10 o'clock at night by myself. I was turning off everything, shutting it down, middle of summer, and I hear do-do-do-do-do. And I'm like, oh, my friend Pogo's here trying to scare me or something. So I'm trying to get clever. I have a flashlight, and I turn off all the breakers. And I hear nothing. I turn on my flashlight, then I hear in the other part of the haunted house, do-do-do-do-do-do. And then I hear, so we have access doors that have springs on them, so you can hear, like, being there for so long, you know which door that is. And I go, I'm going to cut them off. I'm going to scare them. I try to cut them off and scare them. No one there. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? 15 minutes goes by. I hear this bucket at the very end of the haunt that was a 5-gallon of paint move across the floor. And I'm like, I'm just going to shut everything down, lock it up, run to the garage. Haha, he's locked in. I get to the garage. Pogo and this guy Mike Sahady are there. And they're watching TV. And I'm like, did you guys... And I'm like kind of dumbfounded. I'm like, I know Pogo's fast.
Who did I lock in there?
Yeah, I'm like, I know Pogo's fast. And Sahady, he's like smirking at me because I told him what happened. Like, he did it. There's no way he could have done it. And I'm like, what just happened?
That just feeds into our segment. We usually ask people.
Yeah, we usually ask what if you, and you started on it before we even asked you.
Right.
I got so much of it, man.
So yeah, so what we were going to ask you is, have you ever had any paranormal experiences?
Well, gentlemen, I got a whole bunch.
Let's hit rewind and play.
Yeah.
And that ghost is like, well, shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like, people say,
I'm locked in.
Yeah, they're like, I want to know what that was because there was some type of human move. There was something in there that could lift a 5-gallon bucket of paint.
It's to me, it's different if you see something
I've never
as opposed
seen
to
anything. I
hearing something that is obviously like when you said you weren't sure if your friend was there or not,
but I know someone was there.
Like I sat across from. I was at one place. Eric shared the story. We said it on another show. I was sitting across from where they kept their mops and brooms and stuff, and just had them all crashing down on the floor for no reason.
Like they're leaning one way, and
you're just like, what? And but the other people that were there, they said, I'm like, did you guys not like? I just looked at everybody like, why are you not concerned about that? And they're like, because it happens all the time.
It's normal.
And that's exactly what I said.
So now I'm even more like, okay, well,
what am I gonna see now?
I had one where it was I was sitting next to the window.
Yeah.
At this place, and I won't say who it is because I don't want to. I don't want to bring unnecessary attention their way. And they have Venetian blinds there.
Yeah.
But the window was open to let in air, and there was nobody outside because we were the last ones there. It was me and the not the owner, well, the guy that worked there.
Yeah.
And we were laughing about something, and he was cussing up a storm. Crazy Italian dude, just F this, F that, like some Brooklyn dude.
Yeah.
So he's got me rolling, and all of a sudden something just went whack, and the Venetian blind went up in the air, which made the curtains move, and we just froze. Like, and I looked outside. There was nobody there because you could see somebody walking in.
Exactly.
Because the blinds were open. Mm-hmm. You could see somebody walking. So there was nobody there, and it was like, I just went, I'm going home. He goes, what are you leaving me for, man? I got to be here by myself. I'm like, you let me know how you do about, how things go tomorrow.
Yeah, so.
It's crazy.
Just like that, down where our paddock is, so so we have a lot going in between Gore House and the paddock and the haunted house. And there's a covered waiting area, but we have this partition of just like 8-foot fence, 8 foot by 8 foot. And I'm going there last year to set up fog machines for the year, and it's like 9 at night, and I think it was the 7th of September because we opened the 8th. this year we opened the 13th of September. But I put down a fog machine, and right behind that partition, I know no one's there. I hear, hey. I drop the fog machine. I go, hi, and I walk away. I'm just like, nope. And that's one of the times, like when I bring people up there, they go, why aren't you freaking out? Because you'll hear noises. And I'm like, because I hear them all the time. Yeah. The noises I don't hear all the time, that's when you get
concerned. You're like,
I hear access doors all the time. I hear this. I'm like, whatever. It's just, I block it out. We have this thing called Bobo, and it's a giant stuffed clown, and it's from the kids wing, the 4th floor, I believe, at the Bloodview Haunted House Developmental Center. And we kept it, I guess years ago we got invited there to kind of go through and see what was there.
So you turned Bobo into a scary...
No, we take care of him.
I used to help kids, but now I hurt them.
Like I said, I'm like kind of superstitious, but I saw it. They redid this room this year, and I saw him just jammed in this 50 or 5-gallon bucket. I went, if anything here has some juju, that does. So I put it in a chair. But I have a clock upstairs. Do you know Joe Gall? He I know he does a lot with Slaughterhouse. He's at Mushroomhead right now. He's the bassist, but he's from Bloodview, and so I was talking to him, and we were talking about weird things from the developmental center, and he told me, actually a few people told me. So there's this little spot in Asylum where it looks like someone took a chisel to the floor. And I believe they did this, but who knows? But it's pieces and parts of remnants that they literally concreted into the floor to get more juju at the haunted house. The 90s were a crazy thing, I guess. But I'll tell you, I've had, in the bathrooms, we have 2 bathrooms. I've been there where there's one person upstairs. Someone keeps knocking on the bathroom door. And I'm like, occupado, occupied, man. And I'll open it up, and I'll be kind of pissed off because there's another bathroom, no one there. Or I'll hear running up and down the access hallways. Mm-hmm. Now I heard this, and many people at the haunt heard this, but there's a corner of the haunted house in Maze. So in the makeup room, there's back, I call them the police stairs because they go right out. But down there, it's right above Maze. And if there's something creepy in that haunted house, it's there. Because I hear, it sounds like a man, but he goes, hisses, like a cat. It sounds like that. So when I was working still in the winter on Hell House, the whole hallway was covered in 2x4s. So if someone was in the haunted house, there's no way, and I can, whatever. But I hear, and I just went, nope, not tonight. Because I remember hearing that when I was 13, when I started working in that room, when we were redoing that room. I heard a hiss, and it just PTSD. I was just like...
Yeah, it's no.
I'm like, I remember that.
It's probably one rogue raccoon.
So, about that too, we had the doors open. We've had raccoons, skunks, and everything walk in. Yeah, and I'm just
you just got a plethora of wildlife right
or there. Possums hiss too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have 2 groundhogs. I name them all. Bonnie and Clyde. We got Agatha, the pigeon. We got all
those
of them.
Things are random. Opossums are just. There's something about those things. They look like giant rats.
Oh, I just saw a video.
It's not their fault. I had one sneak up on me once, and I was sitting on my porch, and it's walking by. I mean, I leaped in the air, and then it leaped in the air. He's running that way. I'm running that way.
The funny thing about possums is they're very docile. They won't hurt you. Yeah. They're just like groundhogs. They won't hurt you. They're more afraid of you than you are of it, but they just have a nasty look.
They're like,
and it's all teeth. And it's all teeth. Of course, you're like, damn, those things are razor sharp.
Chips, I'm gonna eat them. Get away from me.
You can go up and pet one probably, and they're down with it. They're gonna make a bunch of weird noises. I was up to him. But
have you had your rabies shots?
So here's the thing about possums and raccoons and skunks. Yes, they do carry rabies, but I believe their system makes them so that they don't get the side effects of it.
Yeah.
So it's not that they carry it; they're immune to it.
Okay, yeah.
They get their vaccines.
They don't get the vaccine. They've got their own. They've got their own internal vaccine. But yeah, that's why you got to be concerned when you get bit by one of them, because now you could have it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know that they're immune to it. You're not.
I just saw a hilarious video of this girl, and she's holding up a possum, and the tongue's like,
Yeah.
and she's like, can I keep it?
I saw that.
It's like,
yep.
babe, it's drooling out of its mouth. It's like,
It was just like, it was like,
Put that thing down.
but that's how I am with animals. I'm like, I would probably do that. Can I keep it?
But anyways, back to our shameless plugs. We always wear different T-shirts and stuff like that of different organizations. I've got the Monster Club ones on right now. The glow in the dark. They are available if you want one. They're $20. We have them in all sizes. What are you wearing today?
no, I'm just. This is what I woke up in, so I'm not all there today with the sponsorships.
Yeah, I actually got Cleveland Bikers for Charity
Oh, there
that we
you go.
donate to
Nice.
a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sponsoring Man Thing because he's cool.
I don't know. We sponsored those again.
So you guys are starting on Friday the 13th in September this year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Actually, I believe Friday 13th of September, I believe there's a convention going on that day, too. I'm not too
there's
sure.
a lot
Is that the HorrorCon? I know there's a Cleveland
Up-
Horror Club now.
There's one in August, I know, that's taking over for or they're going to be at the spot that Cinema Wasteland's at.
Gotcha.
I think it might be HorrorCon.
I think it's TerrorCon.
TerrorCon. I keep calling it like Horror Hound and like all this.
There's so many. Well, there's Cleveland Monster Club, Cleveland Haunt Club, Cleveland Horror Club, Cleveland Hearst Club,
Cleveland Paranormal.
I have some Facebook groups.
Ohio.
I don't even know what I posted now. I'm like, it's
Haunted
like
Ohio.
My
Yeah.
my Halloween ones are starting to pop back up again, so I'm starting to go snooze.
oh, I know.
Except for you know, all of us. Like I see you guys on TikTok,
Yeah.
Facebook, you know, even right now, because you know I don't want to miss something that's going on that you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
But like the Halloween meme pages, they all get
yeah.
Oh, like halfway to Halloween.
Well,
oh my gosh.
halfway to
Yeah.
Halloween is ridiculous. The other one in that, what was that? The something of Dracula.
Oh.
Dracula something.
Yeah.
It's a great page when it's October, but at any time of the year, you're like, okay.
Oh, I know. I'm just like, there's so much.
I gotta see other people's stuff, you know. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm missing birthdays, but I'm seeing all these group posts, you know, of the same meme just bouncing around different groups. You know?
Yeah, no, I know exactly how that goes.
Ah.
Like, do you do what is that? Haunt Hub? You go on that?
I don't think so. I you know, I do a lot of YouTube haunt videos.
Mm-hmm.
I do Slapped Ham,
Oh, Slapped Ham, Mr.
Slapped Ham.
Nightmare,
Frostmare,
Frostmare,
Bizarre Bub,
Sir Spooks.
Sir Spooks.
I love all them.
I'm Sir Spooks, and here's a guy being terrorized by a poltergeist. No, he sounds comedy.
Do you think it's real or fake?
Leave it up to you. Like, dude, that's obviously a guy standing there. It's a homeless guy.
Yeah,
What's
there's
wrong
a
with you?
bag in the air.
Sometimes-
Are you sure it's a bag?
I mean, I love those guys, and if this video ever got super popular and they're like watching it going, hey, that guy's an asshole. Just some of them where you're just like, really, dude? Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. I watched all them videos at night.
Oh, yeah. My wife's like, how in the heck do you sit there?
I go to sleep for them, yeah.
It's, you know, dark. I'm the only one sitting in the room, and I'm like this. And they could be showing the craziest, most wretched thing. And I'm like, I'm going to get a bowl of cereal.
There's a guy in Cleveland called Urbex Hill.
Urbex Hill. His stuff's always
And
on
he started popping up on Sir Spooks all the time.
Did you see one where a ghost whacked him in the head from behind?
And he fell down. He had a camera set up.
Yeah.
And because he was filming underneath the sub-basement, too.
Yep. And it actually showed because he had multiple cameras.
It looked like he got...
It had left the room, and he was knocked out for a good 5
He's
minutes.
a big dude, too.
He's a big guy. And
He does hell
wham!
yeah.
Like, something slugged him out, man. And you're watching this going, I'm not going where he's going. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
gonna
like
follow
abandoned
that.
buildings
Yeah,
next
dude.
to where I work.
No thanks. Yeah. We're in the east side right now in this abandoned warehouse. No.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
I almost got pulled on a hunt like that. This was when Monster Club first started and we were starting to plan hunts.
Yeah.
And I was asked about going into an abandoned warehouse. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, I don't need a
would
felony.
Right. I don't need criminal trespassing.
When Urban Explorer got big, I remember everyone I knew was getting like misdemeanors. I'm like, you gotta stop going in these places.
Yeah, you gotta get permission, man.
We did, there's a girl named Stacia, and I believe she was the manager. She moved to Vegas, and she was the manager of Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum.
Mm-hmm.
So she came back to Bloodview last year prior with like an SLR camera, the Oculus, all these new things because I guess people send stuff to the museum to try different equipment. We tried everything, but in Asylum we did that SLS, or is it the SLS or SLR camera?
SLS camera?
Yeah, get to stick people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because it's all right now it's gone, but it was cages everywhere. But the things were hanging on the bars. And I'm like, so we were doing Ovilus too. So we were asking it questions, and it was right next to my friend Davey. And we were thinking it might be someone we knew, and we were saying my buddy's name. And so it's like, yes, I'm here. It was like putting complete sentences together.
Isn't that freaky?
It was real freaky because it was behind playing on the monkey.
I got a device similar to that. It's not an Ovilus because Oviluses are expensive and you got to wait for them to be built because they only build
one
them
at a
per
time.
order.
So
But I've got one. It's called I call it the paraphrase. It's something else, but I wish it had a volume control because it does not.
Oh yeah.
And that's where this little thing comes in handy because it can hear everything. It's really soft spoken, and you can set it to alphabet, yes or no, or you can have it do full words.
Does it do frequencies?
No.
Okay.
So it'll do full words.
Yeah.
And it'll be silent for the longest time, and then all of a sudden
say something you're talking about.
It just says something you're talking about out of the blue, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Remember in Mansfield it was like that.
Well, Mansfield, I didn't have that device. You had the one on your phone, the app.
Yeah.
With the radar?
Mine wouldn't say anything, but when we went into the rooms where the people would stay, it was blabbing up a storm, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, but anywhere else, it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, we were quiet except this room, and my buddy, Dave, he started tearing. Because, like, this guy that passed away was one of our best friends. And every sentence he was getting was just pulling on Dave's heartstrings. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like Jeremy. And this is where I would like start to get into this because he goes, because my buddy believed it was my buddy Laz. He goes, hey, Darren's here. And he goes, it literally goes, F Darren, like in a totally different voice. And I'm just like, and we all stopped. We're like, this is real weird. Because it was like saying a phrase, I just went, fuck Darren. And I'm like, I'm out.
I'll be outside.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not poking this thing, but like,
yeah.
Like my buddy Dave had another experience at the haunted house. In the access hallway, we have all these UV day glow, like arrows to point you in which direction. Mm-hmm. And there's this big green arrow, and I'm looking down the hall, and it looks like something's doing this in front of the arrow. And I'm like, no, I've never heard ghosts bobbing and weaving until I started looking it up. And bobbing, like, going back and forth, I guess is a pretty normal occurrence. Because Terra Vista Cemetery at Tinkers Creek's when I first had my first crazy experience. Yeah, but...
We've got a video up there of Terra Vista.
Oh, and I said the butterfly.
I had a ghost tell me to stop talking.
Yeah, they told us to leave.
Yeah, they were pretty rude up there.
Oh, yeah, up on the hill, you gotta walk. Well, all them graves are mostly, everyone's buried in trees. They would hollow out the trees, hollow them out and bury them, because they were all canal workers, farmers. Yeah, but if you keep going past the cemetery, there's a drop-off there. And we were stupid kids doing a Ouija board on a grave.
Oh, my gosh.
It was yeah, and then I see something going like this. I'm like, you guys see that? And we bolted and all that. But that was my first time. But we saw the same thing in the access hallway, 30 feet down in front of this arrow. And we were probably 25. We're like, oh, let's go check it out. It's nothing. And I'm like, we're trying to debunk it. And my buddy turned his back to the wall, facing the inside of the haunt, and he hears, this. And I've never seen a 6'2" man with camo coveralls running, going. But he made that noise that no man makes purposely. He goes, ho, 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 like that terrifying guttural sound.
Yeah.
And I believe him wholeheartedly to this day, because I've heard things there. But he said he'll never go into the haunted house alone now. I have tons of haunters that won't go in that haunted house alone. But I feel, it's funny, when I go in there, I feel like a blanket over me. I feel peachy. And it's just, I like it because it gives my life some, like, excitement. I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen today.
Am I going to get hissed at today? I don't know.
Yeah,
We're in your bathroom or something, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing, though. I think that's another reason I love being there, because I love that. Like, I'm so desensitized from horror and all this. It's almost that, like, jolt you get from adrenaline.
Yeah.
That's what gets me going now. Like, if I get scared out of a haunted house, I will literally stop and tell the actor, I'm like, you got me, man. Like, because I don't get freaked out by that.
I do the same thing when they.
I tell them, good job.
That's
like,
what I tell them. Like, dude, you got me, man. You nailed it.
Yeah, I'm like, I've been in this industry for 20 plus years, and you're like the fourth person. Like,
yeah, I'll be the first one after I leave a haunted house, man. It's like, man, they finally got me in there. They did a jump scare. It's usually the jump scares that get me.
The jump scares?
The jump scares. Because you don't expect it. You're looking at all the cool stuff, and next thing you know, somebody pops out, and it's like, shit, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I love it. Because they'll get you, and then they'll go, boo.
Boo!
Yeah.
Who says boo in a haunted house?
I know. You'll be surprised how many times you'll get that.
Oh, it was great. We were at Nightmare Haunted House, me and my nephew and my niece, and there was a couple of us, and we started going through, and we didn't buy the touch pass, but we were expecting to be able to film. So I told the guy, I says, hey, we'll have glow bracelets on.
Yeah.
So you know it's us coming through. And he's like, yeah, about the camera thing. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, but we still have the glow bracelets on.
Yeah.
So we're going through. We all got our glow bracelets on. Next thing you know, we walk in this one room. And this dude picks my nephew up. My nephew is as tall as I am. He's stocky.
Really?
And dude picks him up and carries him away. And I'm like, where's he going there?
I heard about them touch passes. I heard they're pretty intense.
I'm like, it just took Nathan.
I did that too. Actually, Jason Panic that works at Nightmare. He came through last year, I believe, with Rick Thomas, and I saw Jason because was a member of ours. Mm-hmm. I grabbed him and just brought him into the woods. He had no idea who I was, and then he goes, "Oh, Darren, nice scare." I'm like, "All right, yeah." Them touch passes, that just seems a little sketchy for me.
I mean, it's fun, but we weren't expecting it because we didn't purchase the touch pass. And the touch pass, they gave you, it was a glow stick around your neck or something like that. It was something different. And all we had glow-in-the-dark bracelets, but...
Yeah, I want to try it, though, because I've heard of, like, my friends, like, their girlfriends getting lifted up.
Oh, yeah, they pick you up and take you away. They'll take you into the next room and drop you off or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it's classic. It's like, they just picked him up and carried him away. I'm like, where's he going?
I love that, because there's always that... When I was a kid, there was always, like 7 floors of hell. It was like, oh, you've got to make it to the 7th floor, or they're going to throw you out a window on a slide or something. Have you ever had them stories?
No.
Where there's like the haunted house that they actually grab you and like take you to the start.
Is that pretty risky? Like to have those? I mean,
so
you sign a lot of waivers, I bet, or
I guarantee, like we've never done touch passes or anything. It just the liability for us is just a little too high.
Yeah.
Especially being volunteer, because we're not hiring these people.
Well, and you guys have the whole knighting system where there you have to be a certain level in order to even brush up against somebody like that.
Yeah, like, I don't mind if you've been there and you're experienced for 10 years. Mm-hmm. Like, I trust you. But I don't want someone...
There's a system, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want someone off the street. It's not because of them. It's for their safety and the customer's safety.
Right.
Yeah.
Haunted camera.
No, I bumped.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like...
Please don't tell me my house is haunted. I just moved in here.
This was a golf course. It can't be haunted.
That would be cool to have, like, a dude putting. Like, just around your house all day.
You hear 4?
Well, I think we should wrap this up here.
Yeah, I really
man.
appreciate you coming.
No, this
over.
is awesome,
was
man.
This was cool to just, find out what you're doing with Bloodview and what they're up to, and just sitting around just talking about ghosts and stuff. Yeah. And we'll have the links to everything Bloodview on the end of this video, and we appreciate you coming out or stopping through the website and checking out our video. And I'm Reverend Morbid.
Mopar Monster.
This is Cleveland Monster Club Podcast with our guest,
Darren Gierowski.
Stay creepy, everyone.